If you are experiencing foundation issues, get a free estimate from Ox Foundations.
As we continue on the Coach's Corner, or another segment for the 2020 football season, Adam Fossett, the head football coach and athletic director at BB Comer, joins us. And Coach, good morning. It is good morning, and it's kind of different with the pads going on. And we welcome you to Daybreak Live.
Thank you.
How has it been with the pad work?
With everything that goes on, and with the sanitizing and mask and things like that, you still have to get after it. I mean, it's still football. So the hard part is, during the practice part, a mask is not required, so they can bang and get after it without a mask, because that, I don't know if anybody's ever walked around with a mask on in the heat that we've been facing, but it's tough to just walk from point A to point B with one on. So during activity, they don't have to have one. It's the in-between activity when they're catching their breath. Our thing is to distance. We're gonna try and spread you out as much as we can, and we've got plenty of field to do that, so that you don't have to pull your mask up. So because when you've gone through practice, or you've gone through a full contact drill, and you're breathing hard and the heart rate's up, obviously you want to get as much air as you can. So the distancing is important there. Making sure that the coaches are all on the same page is huge. So our coaches do a good job of keeping them apart and keeping them separated, during those times, because it takes, it only takes a little, you look at programs, Beulah High School in Lee County, it took one kid, and
It only takes one hiccup, doesn't it?
Yeah, one little hiccup, and it shuts it down, And I spoke with someone down there that's involved in the school, and they had 19 players. The one positive was, he asked the coach who was he in contact with. Well, there's only 19 of them, so he was in contact with all of them, because with few numbers like that, they've had to play both sides of the ball. They have to scout each other and stuff like that, and then all the coaches are in contact with it too. So you look in one little action, they go from everything's normal to now they're not going to play until possibly week 4. So it changes a lot, and everything, when I discuss stuff with people, I say this is right now. Mm-hmm. So right now we're planning to play. Right now we're on track to play. So and it goes all the way down. So we're trying to have youth signups now for youth football and Pee Wee football, and the league that we're in, we met and said, hey, let's try and make this happen. If high school football is going to have it, let's try and do it. We had signups Tuesday and had one signup. So we have sign-ups Saturday morning. So if anybody out there is interested and wants to know, we do have sign-ups Saturday morning from 9 to 11 at the high school gym. And that's for Pee Wee football, youth football, flag football, and cheer. And there's, the sign-ups are the same. The cost is the same. It's $85 for Pee Wee and youth. I'll say $65 for flag, and I think $100 for cheer. But if we don't get those numbers,
what does it tell you about one sign up?
Yeah, it tells you that things aren't normal, and that people are concerned, people are worried about it, And I get it as a parent. I understand that. That's your right, and that's your belief. I'm kind of stuck in the middle of this with, this is going on. This is serious. This really needs to be taken seriously, and in the same swoop, it still needs to be taken seriously, but you want the kids to have as much of a normal lifestyle as possible, as much of a normalcy as possible. And you want the kids to be able to play. At the high school level, the youth level, you want them to be able to play. It's been so long. You take spring sports out of the mix, and we get into summer. So now they've gone back to work, so to speak, and they've been at work, and we're so close to payday, we're so close to game day that it terrifies you when you read another story in online or in the newspaper. You hear, another school had to shut down or whatever the case may be, because the kids have been working hard and the kids have been putting in that time, and you want them to be able to put on that performance that they've been working for.
You looked at college football, and you see several of the conferences shutting down for the fall, and whether it's college or high school, the psyche of these kids can only take so much. They've been working hard, they've been putting in the time, and all of a sudden, hey, this game's postponed, or these games are canceled, or the season is canceled, and you try to put all that in perspective, and you got a football game coming up against Childersburg in a few weeks.
Yeah, no doubt. And the kids, so when you become a coach, those kids trust you, and they trust, they should trust you. Our kids trust us. They trust my coaches. They trust me, and they look at us for answers. So when I can't provide them an answer, that's tough. So, Coach, are we going to play, or are we just building this up for no reason? Guys, we're preparing as though we're going to play, but I can't give them a definite answer. I can't give them that definite, hey, we are definitely going to play.
That's got to be difficult for you.
Oh yeah. It's tough because you again, your mindset as a coach is, hey, we're going to play. We're going to start out with Childersburg, and we're going to take it 1 week at a time from there. And when you come off the momentum that we're coming off of, you're going 6-6. You made the playoffs. You won a playoff game. You hosted a playoff game. So we're coming off a lot of momentum, and those kids feel that momentum. And you can tell, like, our practices. Monday practice was terrible. Tuesday it was a lot better. Wednesday, before the storms came, hey, we had a good practice. So you can tell they're building up to, they're building up to it. They're getting better. So to not be able to say, hey guys, you're definitely going to kick off at 7:00 on August 27th, and be able to give them that comfort is tough. So.
With the football season upon us, and you got kids there, you got some of the younger kids and some of the older kids. Some of these older kids, you're having to lean on them a little bit more than you normally would.
Yes, yeah, definitely. So the older guys are doing a good job, just in helping us out and helping us police what's going on, helping us. So they know what's at stake too. So. If there's a kid comes in the locker room and doesn't have his mask on, that we have a couple guys, hey, get your mask on. Hey, sanitize your hands. Have you had your temperature checked? All this other stuff. So they do a good job for us, and leading us and trying to make sure that there's things that as coaches that as coaches, we're already our minds everywhere, and a normal practice is without all this going on. Right now we're as teachers and coaches, we're in professional development. So hey, look, you need to be at the school at 3:30. We're on the field at 3:45, and there's a regiment there. So now you throw this in. Well, you need to be there at 3:30, but you got to have your temperature checked. You got to sanitize your hands. You got to have your mask on before you can even walk in the field house. So we have coaches stationed there. Well, then you have to have coaches that are helping get the coolers ready. Well, how do you do the coolers? Well, when you have a water break, all the kids are bringing bottles. There's gallon jugs and Gatorade jugs, and so we have them separated into 3 different groups. We have 3 different 10-gallon coolers, and then a coach is responsible. Hey, there's a water break. There's a coach responsible for pushing that button. And, hey, you got to have your water jug, 6-8 inches away, so forth and so on. So there's so many little nuances that you have to keep up with, I got home at 7:30 the other night, and my wife said, well, why is it taking longer this year? I said, well, when everybody leaves, we have to sanitize everything. I'm going through with this this little disinfectant gun that the county provided us. and I'm spraying lockers, I'm spraying helmets, I'm spraying face masks, I'm spraying shoes. If it's not moving, I'm spraying it. So, and we've distanced our lockers. So, now there's a empty locker between two kids, so they're spaced out better. But we're still disinfecting the empty lockers too, because it's you don't want to leave no stone unturned, so to speak. So it just changes a lot of things, and you have to you really have to pay attention to the details of what you're supposed to do.
Let's face it, it has to take some of the joy out of the profession, but yet it's something that you must do to have a chance to be successful.
Oh yeah. It's a necessary evil, is what it is. It's a very necessary evil, and it doesn't. You have to find somewhere where you can. You have to fit that in the day. You have to fit that in the pre-practice or the post-practice or whenever the case may be. In our case, pre-practice is temperatures and sanitizing and things like that. So, you're adding 10, 15 minutes to that part of the day. And then after practice, you're trying to start sanitizing as soon as possible. You also have to have coaches that watch the kids after practice, because they're kids. They're gonna, after practice, they're while they're waiting on their rides, they want to stand around and talk, and you can do that, but you're gonna have to make a huge circle and be 6 feet apart to talk to each other, and we're gonna make you wear a mask. So.
And where do you go when the kids are released? That's a big stumbling block there.
Right. So. During summer workouts, it was like elementary school. We had a coach with a radio out by the parking lot, and the kids were in an assigned spot and in the gym, and they would call, hey, Timmy's mom's here, John's mom's here, and we would call them and they would go. But now with volleyball starting, so we lose the gym because volleyball has to practice, and so we try to be as consistent as possible with our finish times. And then when those kids that are waiting on rides, we have benches outside that they have to spread out on. And again, depending on practice, if practice went well, then they're excited and pumped up about practice. So one of them wants to talk to the other one about knocking him on his butt or something like that. So it's tough, and you want them to be. And you tell them up front, guys, we're not just trying to be jerks for no reason. We're trying to make sure we save the season. It takes one little a rotten apple can ruin the whole bag type thing. So one little hiccup, one little problem could possibly shut us down or back us up or delay us, and that's not what we want.
Yeah, I got a feeling that your wife's question to you about why is it taking so long? I got a feeling that won't be the last time that question is posed either.
No, I don't think so. And it's unfortunate too, because by this time with practice starting, my two sons are usually running around on the field. They're helping with water and getting footballs where they need to be and stuff like that. And every once in a while they're over in the corner fighting each other or whatever the case may be. And that hasn't happened. So, it changes all the nuances of it, and it makes it tough. They're my ball boys on Fridays, and I explain to them, you're going to have to wear a mask, and you're going to have sanitizer because you're touching a football that everybody's touched. And they're like, why do we have to do all that? I was like, either you do it or you're not a ball boy, And trying to explain all this stuff to an 11 and 9-year-old, that's tough. So, but it's we're going to keep moving forward and we're going to keep following these guidelines and do what we're supposed to do, and hopefully it'll work out for us.
Long story short, working to save lives, get the football season in, and be successful in the classroom and on the playing field, and Coach, next week, hopefully we'll be talking about 1 week away from the high school football season against Childersburg, and that'd be something to talk about because they hadn't played them in a few years.
Yes, sir.
We'll get to that next week. Coach Adam Fossett, the head football coach of the B.B. Comer Tigers, our guest this morning. More Daybreak after this.